These words spoken by President of Hawai'i. President at the time was James Kolia. And he spoke to the people who had gathered, just like people who have gathered here tonight, to see what was happening, what was going on these islands, what was America proposing, what were those oligarchy group that disposed the queen, what were they planning, what were they doing? So the people gathered together, and in a speech he gave to the people that had gathered, thousands of them, some of the same people who signed the petitions protesting against annexation. This is just part of his speech from that time. No laila, mai makau, e kupa ama ki aloha I ka aina. Ai lo kahi mā ka manao e kue loa. Ako I ka ho'ohui ia o Hawai'i me Amalika. A hiki ke aloha aina o hopelo. And the words he spoke is translated as such. Do not be afraid. Be steadfast in aloha for your land. And be united in thought. Protest forever the annexation of Hawaii until the very last. Aloha aina.
Oia, oia, oia.
Tātua pauroa I nei me ko aloha me ko mana mai kia au e kino kia au. Te mea pono o me loko ke kuka te mea ai tai te he mo tua. O lai ko mai taiana o taiana o tātua. Maharunuia pauroa ana maharunuia pauroa ana maharunuia pauroa ana. No tātua no tātou, maharanui, maharanui, maharanui tātou. Wai ora, wai tātou, te hiko kanau na wake, ko la anō, tātou haurua, a kia au, te kino kia au.
when we gather. We are going to begin by celebrating a birthday, aloha now, before we begin, of a very significant individual, someone that we have chosen this evening to honor and celebrate. And we are going to ask our keiki to do that for us. And if you notice, they're going to begin over there, but they're actually coming to the front. Is this not why we do what we do? Eo. Because they're going to be our teachers.
Ooh. Aloha mai kākou. This mele, called Kalanakila o Hawai'i, was printed in a Hawaiian language newspaper in 1893, just 2 short months after the illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian kingdom. And it was composed by a dear friend of the Queen Lili'uokalani. It was composed by a woman named Ellen Kekua Ohiwaikalani Wright Prendergrass. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she was also the composer of Kaulana Nā Pua, a very famous protest song, also known as Mele Aipo Haku or Mele Aloha Aina. She herself was a true Aloha Aina, a true patriot. And why this song is so beautiful is that it's called Kalanakila o Hawai'i, the victory of Hawai'i, and was published at a time when we could have assumed that the people would have felt defeated, that they would have been mourning, that they would have been sad at the potential loss of their kingdom. Yet this mele celebrates any potential victories of our people, small or large, and gives the La'ahui hope that one day we will be victorious, no matter what, that we will regain our nation, that we will be strong, and that we will never forget that uaewe, uamalu, uapa'a, eia i'i'o o Akea, that we are rooted, that we are protected, and that we are and will always be steadfast in the people o Akea, in the shade of our highest mountain, in the knowledge and the ike of our kupuna, and in the ancestral wisdom that tells us that we are tied to this aina.
So to put us back in that time period, to take us back, we felt that this year, because every year we begin honoring a different time, a different event, we would honor both Lili'uokalani and our Hawaiian flag, because you see them waving. Oh yeah, let's turn off our phone or silent them. So tonight we're going to honor both to begin, to get us back to a place in our history and to move us forward into the future at the same time. So this chant was written by Kalakaua at a time when he was taking a trip, and he was at that point naming Lili'uokalani as the regent. And he said, "Do not worry, for the people love you as much as they love the high Hawai'i. And as long as both are standing, we are in victory. And indeed, our love and our flag are still here. From Kalakaua to us, to Lili, to our high Hawai'i, Eyala." Gaze upon this royal flag, fluttering in the breeze, over oceans in storm. All 8 seas have beheld this banner in their skies. Waving now for the high chiefess who rules over the land. Lili'uokalani, the sacred one. Look to your chiefess and cherish her well, O Hawai'i. She is the royal princess wearing majesty's crown. You, O chiefess, are the trusted one, beloved of the people. Until that day when Kalani, shall return to these islands, the kingdom is yours. I'm going to present the beginning of this as we presented it 4 times today already to 7th grade students at Waimea Middle School. This becomes their classroom today. They march over here 1 class at a time because we have promised that unlike for us who went to Waimea Middle School in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, that we did not learn this part of history, did we? No, we did not. And upon seeing this one-act interactive play, so you will see us reading a script. It's not memorized. We are following a script that was created a long time ago for us. And when I saw this interactive play and participated in it as one of the speakers, about, say 5 years ago at a women's conference on Oahu. I said, we really must bring this play to our community because for many of us, our kupuna's names are on that ku'e petition and we never even knew about it. So this is not the evening when you get a presentation on this time of history. This is merely a very significant glimpse at what our 7th graders are learning. And today we were privileged and happy that 2 classes from HPA joined us. And this is open all day to all schools in Waimea. And tonight is for you. But we will proceed in the same way as we did in the morning, just in case some of you are parents and you want to know what it is that we are teaching your children about this time period. We are teaching them as much as we can in a class period. Aloha mai kākou and welcome. It is September 18th, 1897, and you have made a decision. You, those of you who have dared to walk through the door of the Hilo Salvation Army for this secret meeting. A meeting being held this evening by 2 women, brave women, who have traveled through the islands, walking, by canoe perhaps, by steamship, in any way they could. And now they are here in Hilo. And when you walk through that door and you made that decision to be here, you must have been thinking, what will happen to me if it is found out that I am here in this room? Will I be punished? If I am working tomorrow and I am found out, will I have a job to go to? And what about the safety of myself and my families because I am here? And what will happen if I am punished? Would that mean that perhaps I will be in prison like so many others about me? Yes, perhaps I will. But I have to be here because for tonight, I am braver than my fear because of my love for our beloved Hawai'i. And so we are here. And we are here this evening because these 2 brave women are going to be asking something of us. The only way, perhaps, that we can stand at this time is to take the pen in hand and to affix our signature on a petition. And if that is what we are being asked, then tonight we will make that decision. Will we sign or won't we? Will we be brave enough? Will we love our Hawai'i enough to say, I will, I will? And wait, as we sit in the room, someone has entered. Someone who does not look like us and someone who will not understand what is happening tonight because it will be in Hawai'i. So a translator has accompanied her. And she has been sent here from San Francisco, from a newspaper, to write about us, to write about this topic, this issue and this time, to write about annexation. And she too is braver than her fear, because she has entered into this room of Kanaka. And she must be thinking, what am I doing here? We wonder, what will she take away from this, for we will speak the truth. And we can only pray that she will carry the message and that we will be heard. She wrote the article on September 22nd, 1897, on the deck of the passenger ship Australia, on her way home to San Francisco.
The strongest memory I have of these islands is the meeting house of the Salvation Army in Hilo on the island of Hawai'i. It is a small, crude place, enough for 300 people, I believe. Bare rafters could be seen overhead, and the bare walls were improved with some biblical teachings written in English and Hawaiian.
Mai kaena ia oe I hono kala a popo.
Don't boast about yourself or tomorrow.
Mawahe a o Karisto a ole he ho'ola.
Without Christ, there is no salvation. As I entered, the bell of the foreign church, standing atop a beautiful bluff of Hilo, rang 10 times. This place is filled with Hawaiian people, and outside, a crowd of people who could not come inside were standing patiently. This was a meeting conducted by the women. Nevertheless, several groups of men had come there. The women wore Mother Hubbard dresses of calico or cloth and wore white and black sailor hats. The men were dressed in coats and pants made like those of the Americans. Then the multitude of people separated, and 2 tall women entered who were dressed in black clothing. They wore black kid gloves with black hats that were decorated with black feathers. The slightly taller of the 2 had the noble and dignified demeanor of a queen. Red roses encircled the top of her hat, and lying upon her neck and breast was a lei expertly made from some flowers which were woven with palapalai ferns. She was Mrs. Kahilu Campbell, the president of Hui Hawai'i Aloha Aina Ona Wahine. Her companion was the secretary of the group's branch in Hilo, Mrs. Emma Nawahi. There are 100,000 people on the islands. Of these, not 3% have declared for annexation. To the natives, the loss of nationality is hateful, aberrant. It is the old battle, white man against the brown, might against right, strength against weakness, power and intellect and art against docility, inertia, and simplicity. A man suffering from an acute attack of annexation mania said to me, "I tell the natives that work for me, you might as well walk out into the sea and attempt to push out the incoming wave with your 2 uplifted hands as to try to prevent what's coming. It's purely a question of conquest, I admit. We are stronger, and we will win. It is a survival of the fittest. He was a tall man, majestic, handsome-faced, 3/4 ha'ole, as they say here. His hands were gripped tightly in front of him, and he looked down upon the heads bowed before him and gave a few short words of prayer for the opening. There is something impressive in strong prayers spoken in an unfamiliar language. You do not hear words, but tones. He was appealing with his feelings, not his reason. And then the voice of the minister ended, and the audience replied, Amen. I watched Mrs. Nawahi with curiosity when she stood and spoke to the people. I had never heard two women speak to the multitudes like this. Would this Hawaiian woman be embarrassed, timid, or self-conscious? None of these things. Her candid manner was like Charlotte Perkins Stetson's 2 years ago, the most interesting speaker of the Women's Congress. The thoughts of this Hawaiian woman were of her subject, not of herself. There was something pleasing in her manner of speaking, which compelled me to look at her, while the person who translated for me by my side whispered her translation to me, all the while the words were being spoken.
We are a weak nation of people. We Hawaiians. And we have no power unless we are united. O Amerika hui pu ia he aina ku o ko a ia. O na kanaka o leila he mau ho aloha. He mau ho aloha hoi. No ka la hui na palibali. The United States of America is an independent land. And the people there are friends. Indeed, they are friends of weak nations. E ho ike aku kako ia lako. E ho o maa ike aku kako ia lako. E like me ko lako aloha I ko lako aina. A awamo ina eha mamua o ka haaki aku ana aku. Pela no ko kako aloha ko kako aina. A e no noi aku. A ale lako e lage maya kako aku. We will show them. We will make them understand that just as they love their land and would endure suffering before giving it up, so do we love our land. And we pray that they do not take it from us. O ko kako manaolana eia ke kunehi me ke kupa a he poohimi me ka poohimi he puuwai me ka puuwai. Here is our hope, standing shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. O ka leo o naka o ka leo no ia o ke akua. The voice of the people is the voice of God. He oia igo, e lohe ana ka aina me ke la au ka moana I ko kako leo wano. E wawalo tele aku ai e lohe aka ko. Surely country on that side of the ocean hears our call for help. By joining our voices to cry for help, they will hear us. Makia palapala kakau inoa. Mai kia la o oi e ka wahine o Hawai'i. Ua loa ia oi ka manawa e ka pā e no'o no'o ai. Upon this petition of ours, that we are submitting for signatures today, you, the women of Hawai'i, have a chance to express your thoughts. O ka palapala o nā kane o houna ia mai ana no ia, e ka hui o nā kane, ka wā e pau ai ke kākau inoa ia. The men's petition will be sent out by the men's group as soon as the signing of the names by the men in Honolulu is completed. A'ale ke ia he mauhana ewa. A'ale hoi he ho'o puni mako kako ala hele o ka hana. O kia vale no ku kako ala hele kahai. These are not underhanded actions, nor is our course of action deceitful. This is our only way to fight. E ike na mea apaua e ho'o maupopo I ko kako palapala ho'o pi'i. Everyone may see and know of our petition. O ke ia aina no kako oia ko kako Hawai'i. This land is ours. Our Hawai'i. Pololei anei. Pehea e ho'o nere ia anei ko kako lahui. Shall we be deprived of our nationality? Shall we be annexed to America?
At this time, Mrs. Campbell was introduced to the people. She spoke with pleasant smiles. She spoke with pleasant smiles, and the men and women stamped in approval and cheered. She spoke only a few words filled with hope. Sometimes she spoke as if she was persuading them all to trust her, with sincerity and gentleness of voice, as she leaned forward and said, E kupa mau hoalo. Stand firm, my friends. O ke aloha I kaina. He mea iaia oi e mea mamua o na mea apau. Love for the land is more important to you and I than anything else. Aloha aina. E koe I kaika, I viva ole, me ka ho'o manawa nui. Be brave, be strong, be fearless, and be steadfast. Our time will come. E hiki mai ana ko ka kova, e ka kaui noa ai ke ia palapala. Ho'o pi'i no pui, ia aloha ia Hawai'i. Sign your names. Sign your names to this petition. You people, all of you who love Hawai'i, sign your name to this petition. E hiala e ka kaui noa ana. How many of you will sign this petition? She waved her gloved hands as she spoke, and immediately hundreds of waving hands were turned to her. Dark hands with short fingers and worn fingernails. They showed of poverty and work, of contact with the land they claimed.
He mea kaukau pepa e iai. E o lelo aku iaia I ko o kumanau. A laila I ka maina Amerika. A laila malia o ho'olohi mai lako.
What is it? What did she say?
Here's a writer for the newspaper, she says. She says to the people, tell her your feelings. Then America will know, and perhaps they will listen.
And at this time, something amazing happened. The men and women all stood up one by one and spoke a few words of faith.
My opinion, this is my field. I love my land, and I want to be independent from now and forever.
I don't want to be annexed. This is the land where I was born, and I love it, just like the American does his. Would he really want to be annexed to a larger land?
I am very strongly opposed to annexation. How dare the Americans rob a people's independence? I want the American government to do the correct thing. America helped overthrow Lili'uokalani. She must be restored. We will never consent to annexation. I have an American father and a pure Hawaiian mother. It is the land of my mother I love. America has performed an unjust act. How could we love America?
Say to America, I don't want annexation. I want my beloved queen.
That speaker, she is a good woman. She is a Christian, an honest person, kind and charitable.
I oppose annexation, me and my entire ohana. I am speaking for the people behind me. They cannot enter, therefore they cannot speak. They told me to say, no annexation, never!
Our group has 300 members. They have sent me here. We really oppose annexation. All of us.
I am telling you the truth. The great majority of the Molokai people oppose annexation. They are fearful that if we go in the way of America, we will lose all our lands. They'll be lost. The foreigners will gather all the benefits, and the Hawaiians will be put in a worse situation as we are now. Oppose annexation.
Come to my district and I will show you 2,000 Hawaiians who oppose this annexation.
I stand, we all stand, to show our love for our country and the Hawaiian flag.
Now, if we know that chant, and many of us do, we know what it means. It means that we must pull together to be successful. Be it a log from the forest that is going to be taken down to the seashore and transformed into a new life as a va'a to sail the deep ocean. Or be it anything that we must stand united for. We must iku mau mau, ikua, no hui lalo ke olo olo o kou. So at the end of each class today, at the end of this one-act play, it is just as we said before, a glimpse in time. It is one small glimpse. There are hundreds, thousands of events that circle before, after, until this very day. And we are here to encourage you, to inspire you, to learn, especially as adults, what we didn't learn, and to not let that happen again. Therefore, the keiki are here, because amongst them certainly will be great teachers. So at the end of each class period, we pose this question. We say to the students, if not today, tomorrow, you will be asked perhaps to sign a petition for Are They Not Everywhere? And you will make a decision. Do I sign or do I not? For many, many different reasons. But you may be asked to go way beyond that. And you will have to ask yourself again, will I or won't I? For Hawai'i and for beyond Hawai'i. For everything, for the good of all. What we ask them is when that time comes, for them to remember this moment in this hall that became the Salvation Army Hall, for one moment in time, to remember this moment and stand on the shoulders of their ancestors and say, I will. I will. For many of us in this room, we have said, I will. And we are indeed they who stood before us. And we have signed, and we have gone well beyond. And the time will come when these keiki in the room will stand for us and our Hawai'i. And I hope that they remember this moment and say, I'm braver than my fear. And I will, and I am them. Eo. And each class period ended in this one way. First, we called on one of the women who served as the actors to portray brave women from here and across the sea. So because there are so many in here who are learning their olelo makuahine, I'm going to call upon Ku'ulei Keawekane-Stafford to tell you why she's doing this for the third year. This is our fourth year. Why she's still here. She's going to say that because I called her is one reason, because when she calls me, I'm there too. But for many other reasons.
Aloha ia I kako.
Aloha.
Ia u ke kuana ma ke iano papa, ka hana ana komo I ke iano hana, he mea I ku ike ma ko'u na au. Hoa ono wau e no ono o pili ki a wahine o emana wahi. Me mi ke kamo. He aha na mea alako I ike ia. He aha na mea I lohe ia. Paha ka na au me ke la me ke ia. Hele apuni o ke ia pai aina o Hawai'i. O ka pai o nā kanaka e pūlima. Pūlima, kau inoa ma ke ia pepa. No ono o wau a ale no he hana hou ke ia. He hana kahi. Nana kahi ko I hana. O mako I ke awa he kule ana. Ka hana ana. Mai nana wale. Mai olelo wale. Hana. Waiona. Ka mea kupono I kou ike. For me, I think one of the greatest teachers that I always will say is my father, my own father. And if there is something that my dad has always taught me, he would say, no, don't say nothing, just do it. Why you gotta say it? Hana wale. Huli ko lima I lalo po akawaha hana. Do it. So it is, I think, with that teachings of my father, my grandfather, these people, that I definitely stand amongst and within. That it is kuleana for me to do it, to step forward and to do it. And I just, Leo Pai Pai, I encourage all of us in whatever capacity we can to do it. Sometimes it is hard to press through that fear, right? Because sometimes that speaks louder. Sometimes that can consume fear, take over. But great hope to push through that. Navigate your way however you must. Pukana. So I believe that this isn't an ode, that I believe it is an ode, Hana, not a new thing for Kanaka Hawai'i to stand up, to speak, to say, and to declare the love for our Aina. Like we told the students today, there's going to be perhaps a time that your beach that you love will call you. What you going to do? Call you to step forward, do something. Your mountain will call you, your forest will call you, your backyard will call you. What you going to do? Aya no ya oi. It's up to you. I'm not here to dictate and say, this is what you do, this is how you do it. Aya no ya oi. It's up to you. Let the iimi stir inside. Act upon that. Let that guide you. Listen to the kupuna. They're there. We just one last thing. I recently finished the poem the other morning at 8:57 a.m. And it says that the stones have been set. Our kupuna, our elders, the ones that have come before us, have set the path. Do you see it? Can you see it? There is hope that we see. The path for us to tread. Tread. Shall we not tread? Part of that is my thankfulness for being included and involved.
This is the way we truly ended our class periods. When she said, do you see it? Not just we in this room see it, but people across the sea see it. And they support us in many ways as we support them. So I will say, 4 young men, and we are blessed to have this as our ending, because we are not in the Salvation Army any longer. We are right here today, 2016. When she said, do you see? 4 young men said, yes, we do. But they weren't here on these islands. No, they saw from a distance away. And they said, what we really want to do, because we see you, is we want to come to your mountain. And we want to sing on your mountain. And before they leave for the airport tonight, 3 of them are leaving, and I'm getting them there in time. I took them up to the mountain, because I needed to make that come true, and I needed the mountain to hear that on the summit, that we are not alone. We are many, and we are all languages, we are all nationalities, we are all people, and we still believe. We still believe. So I would like to bring these 4 young men. I'm going to ask you to just welcome them to the stage with me. Could I please have these 4 young men come up to the stage? And we're going to give them a Maile before they leave us, so that when they leave us, they smell so sweet. And they remember us. They remember us. So I'm going to have to keep track of their time on this stage because we are leaving. But I want them to introduce themselves and at least say the name of their people out loud so that we will remember that and we will know that they are here. And for those of you, we all know we have all supported the mountain. We are speaking to a like heart. We have stood shoulder to shoulder. But for those of you who have really carried this, in whatever capacity that means, I'm going to ask them to sing for you. Because I too honor all of us, myself and you, who have truly stood, because this could somewhat be September 18, 1897. Because are we not sitting in a meeting tonight? And 100 years from now, are they not going to be speaking about us and how we held on? We don't even need a petition at this very second. Our actions, like Ku'ule said, our actions have carried us and spoken for us. And I hope and pray and believe that our great-great-great-grandchildren could one day be sitting in these chairs or some chairs somewhere. And they are going to be honoring us. Don't you just love it? Just say, I, Heo, Heo. I believe that. We're going to end this way because this is the Maile that we have heard endlessly this year, rightly so.